Hey guys, Casual Retro Gamer here. So in today's video, this is part 2 of our Amiga hard drive setup tutorial. We're going to take our hard file that we created last time in WinUAE, and we're going to use that to set up a real IDE drive for use in this Amiga 1200. Now to connect this drive to your PC, you'll need to get one of these cables. These can be picked up on eBay or Amazon for a few pounds. It's a USB connection on one end, and the other end has connectors for various types of drives. This is the one we're interested in today, 44-pin IDE. When it comes time to install this drive in your Amiga, you will need to get one of these. This is a cradle for holding the drive. These also can be picked up on the likes of eBay for a couple of pounds each. But one important thing to note is that the screw layout on these drives has changed since these cradles were used. So if you want to screw the drive into place, you will need to drill new holes, or you can just use a bit of double-sided sticky tape. So we'll transfer over to the PC now, and we'll get started setting up this IDE drive. Okay, here we are in Windows again, and our IDE drive is connected to the PC over USB. So if we just open this PC quickly, we can see this is the drive here, 74.5 gig. And if you buy one of these drives second hand on the likes of eBay, this is probably the way it will arrive, all set up, ready to use in Windows. But that's no good to us, because we're going to be using it on an Amiga. So first things first, we need to open a command prompt. So if you go down here in Windows 10, you can type CMD. Then we want to right click on this icon and click Run as Administrator. We then need to load a bit of software called diskpart, so DISKPART, hit enter. And we're going to list disk. This shows us all the drives currently connected to this machine. The one that we're interested in today is disk 2, our 74GB drive. Now it's very important that you know what disk you're working with here. If there's any doubt whatsoever which is which, what I'd recommend you do is temporarily disconnect your new drive or CF card or whatever it is. Run diskpart and list disks to see a list of the disks that your computer is using. Then add your new drive, list disks again, and whatever one comes up added, that's the one we need. In our case here it's disk 2, so we need to select disk 2, and we want to clean this disk. We'll type clean and hit enter. And that's it, that's the drive ready for the Amiga. So type exit and exit to close command prompt. If we just go into this PC again quickly, we can see the drive is gone. Right, just before we start emulation, just want to show you quickly, today we're going to be setting up this drive, obviously if you're using the Amiga, but we're also going to copy some WHDLoad games across. So those games can be downloaded from the WHDLoad support page at whdload.de. So click on installs, and then you can pick whatever games take your fancy. So if, for example, you want to copy a Clockwiser, you can just click on it and it'll download the LHA file. Do not extract these files on your computer, just put them in a directory somewhere and we will deal with them later. Or since we've got an IDE drive with plenty of space on it, you can go to this site and you can download the packs. So all the A games, all the M games, all the X games, whatever. These will be downloaded in a zip file. Extract the zip file, but do not extract the other zip files with it contained within that. We will sort that out later. So for example, if you download the packs, if you get everything, you'll have it like this. So in here, for example, is all the zip files. We don't extract these, but I'll show you later how we copy these across to the drive. In the meantime, if we can browse to our hard drive setup folder on our PC folder, under File System, if you open this text document, it has some useful information in it that we're going to be using shortly. Right, WinUAE, and remember we're running this as administrator. We're going to load our hard drive setup configuration that we created yesterday. And we're going to go to the CD and hard drives tab, and we're going to remove this hard file. Now, we're going to add our Classic Workbench hard file, so browse the Classic Workbench folder, select the system HDF file, but this time under hard drive and controller, we need to change this device from UAE to Commodore. This is very important now, so make sure you just don't miss this step. And click OK. We're going to add our hard drive. So under this drop down list at the top, you're going to select our hard drive, and it's the Hitachi 74.5 gig drive that we're using today. If you're not running UAE as an administrator, it will not let you select the drive. So that's why we made that change yesterday in properties, so that we're always running UAE as admin. So we want to change this 0 here to a 1, just so this becomes IDE device 1, and make sure this is on Commodore IDE, not UAE. Must be on this one, just to make sure the drive will work when we get it across into the real machine. So click Add Hard Drive. And lastly, we're going to add our PC directory again. We don't need this drive bootable, and we're going to select our PC drive. This is obviously the drive that contains all the files in my Dropbox link, which is also listed in the description of this video. So select folder, click OK. That's us ready to go. So click Start. Okay, so that's us booted into our Classic Workbench 3.9 hard file. The hard drive hasn't appeared, but don't worry about that, we'll sort that out in a minute. But before we do that, we need to transfer some files from our PC directory into our system directory. We're going to use some of the features of Classic Workbench to help us. So if we double click here and run, and we're going to load this bit of software here, Opus. Click on it once. And this software lets us copy files from a directory in this window to a directory on this side. So on this side, we're going to go down here and click on PC, that's the drive. On this side, we need to copy them to our DHO drive, this one. Click on this side again and open File System. And we're going to copy this file here, PFS3AIO. Just click on it once to select it. And then this side, we're going to copy it into L. So double click on that to open it. You can see all the other file systems in here. So we need to click on this side again to select it. See where it goes red at the top, and that's this side selected. We've selected this file, and we're going to click Copy. So you can see it's appeared here on this side now. We're going to click Parent, and go back to the root of the drive. We're going to go into Load Module, double click on that. On this side then, click Parent. We're going to go into C. And back to this side, we're going to select Load Module and click Copy. Then back to Parent again. We're going to open SCSI. On this side, click Parent. And we're going to copy these files into devs. So open the devs folder. And we're going to select both of these. Just click on them once each. You don't need to hold Shift or Control or anything to select multiple files. Just click on them. And then click Copy. Okay, that's us finished copying files, so we can close Opus, quit, close that. And the next thing we're going to do then is set up this hard drive. So open System, Tools, and HD Toolbox. We want to make sure this middle one is selected, SCSI.device, click OK. Right, let's find our hard drive. This is it here, on address 1, 74.5 gigabytes. Just click on it once. And this should pop up, telling us that this drive is not yet installed. Do we want to install it? Yes, we do. We'll click here just to confirm it's read the configuration. And we'll click install. Okay. We now need to partition this drive. So we click here. Now it's set 10 partitions there as default, but we don't want that. So click delete. Select this other partition, delete, and just delete all of these. Now we're going to create a new partition. Now you must click on the empty space here first before clicking new partition. If you don't, you can screw this up a wee bit. So make sure you click up here first, then click new partition. And this is going to be our boot partition for the OS. So it's very important that this partition is less than 4 gig in size. Now it's only going to hold the operating system for me, so I'm just going to make it 1 gig. I'm going to change the name of this partition to DH0. And this bit's very important and often gets overlooked, and people wonder why it doesn't work. You must check this wee box to make this partition bootable. If you don't, it just won't boot. Now, next thing we need to do is add our new file system. So click here, add update. I'm going to add new file system. We're going to scroll here to PFS3AIO. That's the file we just copied across. So select that, click load. And we need to change this identifier. So click here, delete that out. And we're going to copy the text from our notepad document that we opened earlier. The DOS type is what we need in here. So 0x50465303. You must hit enter to confirm the change. If you don't press enter and just press OK, it will not accept the change of the number. It will just revert back to what it was previously, and the file system won't work. So type in the new number, hit enter, then click OK. We then need to change the file system on this partition. So click change. Up here at file system, click and hold on this drop down list, and we're going to select this one, PFS/03. We're going to change the max transfer to what it says in our notepad document. So 0x1FE00, hit enter to confirm. And we're going to change this file system block size to 512. Click OK. Now we're going to add another partition. So click here in the blank space, click new partition. I'm going to make this partition about 30 gig or so. It's just going to be for my WHDLoad games. I'll do. So I'm just going to call it DH1. We don't need to add the file system because it's already been added, but we're just going to click change just to confirm everything's okay. We're using the PFS3 file system. Our max transfer, we'll just change that. 0x1FE00, hit enter. And the block size is corrected 512. Click OK. And then we'll add one more partition. We'll select this, empty space again, new partition. I'm just going to let this fill the rest of the drive. Just going to call it DH2. And again, we'll just click change there to confirm we're using the correct file system. We'll change that max transfer again, 0x1FE00, hit enter to confirm. And the block size is still correct at 512. So click OK. Click save. Click OK. and then we're going to click exit and reboot. Now if you give it a second, the drive should appear. There we are. One of them's appeared down here. So we have DH0.1, and it's saying 0.1 now because this drive is also called DH0, but don't worry about that. There's DH1 and DH2, and all the drives are uninitialized. So we just click on the drive to select it, right click them, and go to icons and format disk. I'm going to call this drive OS39. This is only for my operating system. We don't need a trash can. Quick format, always quick format. This will pop up just to tell us we're using the professional file system 3. Click OK. Then we'll do the same with this drive, DH1. So select it, right click, format disk. I'm going to call this drive WHDLoad. Don't need a trash can, and quick format. And then finally DH2, select the drive, right click, icons, format disk, and I'll just call this files. I don't need a trash can, and quick format. Right. Now we need to copy our operating system from this drive onto this drive. So double click run, and we're going to load Opus. So on this side we need our DH0 directory, and on this side we need to type in the name of our drive, which was OS39, put a colon and hit enter. That's our 1 gig partition. I'm going to click here on this side, we're going to click all to select all files, and we're going to click copy. Let's just take a couple of minutes, just going to copy all the files across. And then we can boot to the IDE drive. Okay, close Opus, close this, and what we're going to do now is go back into the emulator, so press F12. We're going to remove all of these, and we're going to add our hard drive again. So add hard drive, select it from the list. Change this 1 back to a 0 because I want it to be IDE device 0. Still make sure that this is on Commodore IDE, that's very important. And add hard drive. Then we're going to click OK, and we're going to cross our fingers, and WinUAE should boot to the IDE drive. No, sorry, my mistake, I forgot one step. Press restart. Now we're going to cross our fingers and press start. So there we are. WinUAE has booted to the real IDE hard drive. Now you may be thinking to yourself, all we need to do is take that drive and stick it in the Amiga and it will work, and no it won't. Unfortunately, we do need to make one final change to this just to make sure it boots on the Amiga. So what we're going to do is right click up here, we're going to go to workbench and startup. And we need to edit the startup sequence. Now, we need to comment out the vast majority of this here. So, the comment the line out by putting a colon at the start of it. So we're going to comment out all of these. Leave this line and comment out this one and this one. Now at the very top here, if you hit enter a couple of times, just give yourself a bit of space, we need to type the following: C colon load module devs colon and scuzzy dot device dot 43.45. If for whatever reason after we do this you still have problems on your real Amiga, you could try using the other scuzzy device that we copied across, which was 44.20. I find 43.45 though works every time for me. So you need to save this now, so right click up here, project, and save, and close. Now we're going to press F12, and before we move this drive into the Amiga, we're going to add some games. So we're going to add a directory, and we're just going to call this directory WHD. We don't need it bootable, and we're going to select wherever you have your WHDLoad games saved on the PC. This is my ones here and here. I'll select folder, click OK. We're going to restart, and we're going to start emulation. Now here's our WHDLoad folder. So we're going to use Opus to help us, so double click run, open Opus. Now before we start copying the games, we just need to make one other quick copy, so go into DH0. On this side we need to go into our DH1 drive where we're going to store all the games. And we want to copy these two folders, demos and games. Just select them there, click copy. Right, on this side then we can go into the WHD drive. So WHD colon enter. And we're going to just copy a couple of games across for now, just because it does take a wee while to copy the games. So if we go in on this side, go into the games folder, go into A for example. Then over here likewise go into A, and then select whatever games you want. If you want to copy them all, you can just select all. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm only just going to copy a few across. Agony, fantastic game. Aladdin, brilliant platformer. All for Chicken, love that. Alien Breed 3D, fantastic. What else we got? Ultrium Racing, not a bad game. Another World. Sure, what else? We got Atrium. I love a bit of Atrium. Right, so we just don't click copy. We need to click this one, Arc Extract. So if you remember, these are all LHA or zip files, and we need to extract those onto our WHDLoad folder. So we click Arc Extract. And that's them. If you want to go parent again, and we'll copy some B games across. So again, just open the B directory on this side and on this side. Copy whatever you want. Banshee, brilliant game. Base Jumpers, fantastic wee game. I have a demo of this on the CD32 and played it to death. I love it. Beneath the Steel Sky is fantastic, but I'll copy that across later because it takes forever because of all the talkie files the size of it. Benefactor, another brilliant CD32 game. Right, that'll do. So we'll just select the ones you want, click Arc Extract. Press left mouse button when it's finished. And there's the games. So we'll copy, say, G. Gods is one of my favourite games, so we'll copy that one across here. Gods, there we are. So we'll copy that. Golden Axe, another fantastic Amiga game. Probably the best Sega port game on the Amiga actually. So we'll copy those two, Arc Extract. Right, that'll do for now. So obviously you can just work your way through that, copy everything across, or, well, to be honest, I probably will wind up copying everything across just because there's 30 gig to play with here. But I'll do that later. So we can close Opus, quit. Now we need to change a couple of other things. So the games are on this drive, which is DH1, and they're in this folder down here. Where is it? Games. So we need to tell WHDLoad that's where the games are stored. So if you right click, we're going to go to Startup again. Sorry, Workbench, and then Startup again. And this time we're going to do Assign. And I am also going to copy across the WHDLoad demos. So here we need to take off this SYS, delete that, and put in DH1, which is the drive that the demos folder is in. And likewise with games, delete out SYS and put in DH1. Right click up the top here, go to Project, Save, and we can close this. We're then just going to do a reset, so F12, restart. Now, last thing we need to do is just scan for the new games we've added. So we open this here, Drawers, double click on it. We need to add files, and we are adding games. So double click on this. So this searches for the new games and adds them to our WHDLoad list. Once it's finished, you hit return to exit. We can close this. Close this. Then if you right click anywhere on the screen, you can go to Run, WHDLoad, Games, and here's our games. And let's load Gods quickly. So just double click on it to load it. And note here it says press F10 to quit. And there we are. So that's our hard drive set up. We have a few games on it. So next step, let's get this drive into the real Amiga, and hopefully all works. Right, so here we are. Here's our IDE drive that was just set up. So first things first, we're going to mount it onto this. I'll just move the camera down. So I have a couple of screws here for it. This thing sits in the Amiga like that, this taller bit to the back, and the IDE slot is on this side of it. So we want to line up our IDE connector to this side. And I'm just going to put 2 screws in this just to hold it. Oh, dropped the screw. Trying to get this all the way on in here. There we are. I'll hold that nicely in there. Next thing we need to do is open up our Amiga, so put all the wires out of the back of it. And flip it over. There's 5 screws we're interested in. There's 3 along the front, albeit the one missing in my Amiga. And there's 1 here and 1 here, so we'll just remove these quickly. Okay, turn the Amiga back over. And then carefully lift up from the front. There's just wee clips on the back holding it in place. There we are. I find it easiest if you just rest this up against something so that the lid can sit like that. Saves you having to disconnect these lights. The keyboard just slides back slightly to get it out of the wee clips that hold it. And again, lift it up and set it up against something like that. Saves you having to disconnect the ribbon cable. There we are. So here's our, I'll just move these over a wee bit here. You can see this better. Right. So here's our IDE cable already connected. The IDE header's here. And you want to connect this with the red line on the ribbon cable pointing downwards. We'll connect the cable to the drive first. There we are. And if you notice, you probably not see that from up there, but there is 4 wee cutouts in the motherboard for these feet. So line them up and put them in. That's it. If the cable's a bit long like mine, just flatten it down a bit. So we'll put the keyboard back in. Ensure to slide it into place properly. Just be careful that you haven't pulled out the ribbon cable at all. Just check that it's in properly. And we'll offer the lid up again. Just push it at the back like such. Just grab your hand and pull it. That pulls the clips into position. Then we can turn it over again and put our screws back in. Be very careful when you're tightening the screws at the front. It is possible to over tighten these and damage the top of the case, so just tighten them no more. You don't need to swing on them. Do the last one, that'll do. Right. So turn your Amiga over. We're going to connect power again. And connect your video and audio cables. Unfortunately, I'm only using composite at this wee screen, as my RGB cable is in use down at the big screen at the end of the room for the CD32. I do need to get another one. Right, there's back a wee bit. And moment of truth. TV on. Fingers well and truly crossed. And power on. Hard drive activity light flashing, that's a good sign. What we should see here is a little hard drive activity, then we should reset. There we are, there's the reset, that's it loading the new SCSI device in the memory, and then it should now boot in the OS 3.9. And there we are. Oh, I forgot to connect the mouse. I'll just connect the mouse quickly. And just to make sure it's all working, let's try gods again. And there we are, guys. That is one real 80 gig IDE drive setup. Classic Workbench 3.9, WHDLoad games. And if you'll excuse me, I'm away to play some gods.